You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic from Spire Academy here on League Ready. Final game of the weekend here in Geneva, Ohio, and it will pit Tennessee Collegiate Academy, the Spartans out of Millington, Tennessee, taking on Oak Hill Academy, the Warriors, on the Mount of Wilson, Virginia. Oak Hill versus Tennessee Collegiate. The Warriors got a win yesterday. TCA lost a tight one. Here's how things line up right now as these teams continue to jockey for position. Top 5 teams qualify for the EYBL Scholastic Tournament come the middle of March. TCA, Oak Hill, you've seen they're both 2-5 in the division right now. So two teams that on paper maybe fairly evenly matched. We'll see how things break out for what could be a tight one here. Our fifth and final game of this weekend here in Northeast Ohio. Glad to have you with us on this Sunday afternoon. I'm Max Tomo alongside Trey Debson. Oak Hill was a team that was struggling when we talked about them yesterday. They came in 1-6 in their last 7 games, but they got a victory. And, you know, somebody like Ethan Mbako, who struggled offensively, he was 1 for his first 11 shots, but hit the biggest shot of the game yesterday, that big 3 from the corner that ultimately got them over the hurdle.
Yeah, they need him to have a good game. I mean, over his last 3 games, you look at the numbers, 2 of 17 from the three-point line, and has really struggled with that shot. But he's a guy that if he sees one go in, he can fill it up and really get hot from the three-point line.
Meanwhile, for TCA, 2 players with 20-plus points. Yesterday, Nate Miles was terrific. Mason Williams had 20 points in just the second half. Yep. He did not score in the first half yesterday. They're going to need more maybe from the likes of a Keeper Jackson or a Will Nelson Jr. today.
Yeah, even coming into this tournament, Keeper Jackson, his last 2 games was 3 of 13 from the field. So they definitely need a third scorer because between Williams and Nate Miles, those guys can fill it up.
Meanwhile, on the other side, the true freshman David Johnson gets another start. Corey Corbett and L.J. Smith both had 16 points to lead the team yesterday. Corey Corbett, the senior from Columbia, South Carolina, had just 2 points the game prior, been 16. He's had a very up and down month of February. We'll see what version of him we get today. With TCA in the all-black, it's Nate Miles to bring the ball up the timeline. Hill in the all-whites for this one. TCA starts the 3-9 mark overall in the conference, and there's a rejection on the first shot of the day. Hardaway staying with it, fighting tough. He was a menace yesterday.
Yeah.
5 offensive rebounds, 9 rebounds total to go with his 8 points.
Already 2 here in the first 30 seconds of the game.
Just so many second looks and a big time triple on the very first possession. There is Ethan Mbako. He hit his last shot, that 3 from the corner yesterday in crunch time, and hits his first today. I would expect him to have a good bounce back performance offensively. Keeper Jackson gets walled off by Qual. Mason Williams, he called his own number a few more times in the early stages today. Miles, quick trigger from the corner. That's off the heel. Kept alive, and it'll stay here. That's Jackson Hardaway again. He is a workhorse down low.
This is a TCA team that really struggles with getting good, consistent ball movement, averaging less than 10 assists per game, which is last in Scholastically. So let's see if they can move the ball around and get some good half-court offense.
20 offensive rebounds yesterday. They were plus 16, and that's a big time 3 with the answer. 3's fallen in the early stages. They're top 10 in the conference in 3-point percentage. All the way to the conference. Going solo. Corey Corbett and missed the layup. Keeper Jackson with that last 3. They got 5 points yesterday. It was just 2 of 6 from the floor. 1 of 4 from the line. A man who's usually terrific from the stripe. Makes the extra pass this time. Will Nelson with the triple. 6-0 run on 2 threes.
And how about the ball movement early on for TCA? Get a post double team, and it's a great job of getting it out, and then reverse for open 3, and then Oak Hill now.
There we go.
Mbako with his second one.
Yeah, Mbako with the 3 at 6-6 on 4 made triples. 2-pointers not falling. Mbako, the Vandy commit. Oh, crossover, just steps into a 3. That's maybe one of the earlier heat checks we've had on this season of the EYBL Scholastic, just 2 minutes and 20 seconds in.
But I love that he's coming out hunting his own shot. And I think if you're Oak Hill, you're going to live with some of those tough early shots off the bounce because you want Ethan Mbako to get in rhythm and feel comfortable.
LJ Smith, no good on the three. That's a guy who gets it up so quickly. 16 points a day ago, even though he was only 6 of 15 from the floor. Keep it right here. Shot clock at 23. TCA yesterday, they only made 5 threes all game long. Shot just 36% from the field. Lost 67-65 to Lehigh. They're plus 16 on the offensive glass, and they only turned the ball over 8 times. Pretty clean game, even though they came out on the wrong end. It was their 7th loss in a row. Mason Williams getting smothered by the double team. Picks out the open man, though. What a find. But an even better contest. David Johnson, it is a late whistle and a foul. True freshman thought he went straight up, but Will Nelson Jr. will go to the line instead.
That was a really good job of Williams keeping his head up and keeping the dribble alive and splitting the double team to find Nelson. I think if Nelson would have utilized that shot fake, Johnson would have went flying. He probably would have had an easy dunk.
Free throw goes for Will Nelson Jr., who came over to the team back in December. 4-star player, top 25 power forward in the class of 2028. Young man, just a sophomore.
Coming into this tournament, he was averaging 16 points per game, 55% shooting his last 2 prior. Struggled against Lehigh, only had 5 points, 2 of 11 from the field.
That was a matchup at the rim of sophomore versus freshman. That is not something you see frequently in this league.
Neither of those guys look like underclassmen.
No. That's going to be a great matchup, too. They both wear number 1 and guarding each other on both ends of the court. 7-6 game. TCA's got the early advantage. Stop and start. Into the corner it goes. 3-2 strong from Johnson. Got some pace in this one. Miles left alone. Got it. Miles had 23 points yesterday. And an early timeout from Oak Hill. They trail by 4.
Beautiful pace in transition where you get multiple ball advancements, getting the ball up with the pass over the dribble. See Williams here passing it ahead, 1 bounce, pass ahead to an open 3. Oak Hill struggling to get back in transition defense, and TCA making them pay.
Miles gets his first bucket. As we take a look at today's Chipotle Players Spotlight. And the Chipotle order for one Mason Williams. 20 points in the second half yesterday. Maybe a big reason why. The triple meat order. He's got the double barbacoa, the steak, and you got lettuce, corn, and pico, chips and guac on the side. Burrito, not a bowl.
I just caught this. Does he get 2 separate burritos? Because maybe he gets the double barbacoa and then also a steak burrito, but then fills them up with the same sides.
I'm thinking it's 1 burrito and it's just stuffed.
Triple meat? I don't know if can you fold that?
They can fold anything at Chipotle, man. Have you seen them do this?
Oh, yeah,
unbelievable. You ever try to make a burrito at home? It does not come out anywhere close to this.
It's elite, but a lot of meat in 1 burrito.
Well, I have to try it.
We'll have to ask him if he gets 2 burritos or just 1. Maybe he saves 1 for later.
I'd love to see the look on the employee at Chipotle when that gets ordered, if it's in person or if it comes across, via the mobile app, because you're going to have some work on your hands if that's 1. No question about that.
I think you need to be there in person because I think they're going to jip you out of your meat if you're not there to see it.
I think there might just be some. I think you'd want to see the looks in person. You order that on the mobile app, I think they probably think that there was a mistake. And Mbako, he's got 3 threes already. You could tell when he went to bed last night, I'm sure he was content with the result of the game, but maybe a little frustrated
individually,
with his play offensively. That can happen. He has come out scorching hot, all 9 points. 3 of 4 from distance. He shoots 37%. He's got over 33s on the season. Well, both teams calling early timeouts, and Michael Wright in his first year at Tennessee Collegiate, not too thrilled right now.
Ethan Mbako will be playing for Vanderbilt next season.
He had just 11 points yesterday. Had a game earlier this month versus Lumiere where he had 23 points on 5 made threes. But he did have 9 rebounds and 5 assists yesterday. Joined a high-flying Vandy team and had a tough conclusion yesterday at home in downtown Nashville. Gave up a big run, and Tennessee Volunteers came in and got a big-time dub. Tennessee maybe a team peaking at the right time here towards the end of February. Well, nearly 4 minutes in, Oak Hill's got 3 made field goals. All come from the same man. That's a foul in the open court. It's against Zion McGlone, the junior. Maybe that was part of the conversation Michael Wright was having with this officiating crew. A little tighter whistle with that foul call in the backcourt. Hill's got 2 fouls. TCA just 1 so far in the first 4 minutes. Hardaway, jump stop. Down low, keeper Jackson trying to power it up and in. The one-handed slam doesn't go. Jackson Hardaway, big man. He's sneaky, athletic, and quick. L.J. Smith gets a paint touch. Trailing by 1. Only had 1 man score so far. Baco's 3 of 4. The rest of the team 0 for 4. L.J. Smith trying to stop that. Almost turned it over. Shot clock just at 6.
Hardaway's doing a really good job in pick and roll coverage as well. Not allowing L.J. Smith to get downhill. And even though he's in that drop coverage, he's being effective by not giving up points to the ball handler off the pick and roll.
You hear the communication on that screen, and Baco. Almost his second heat check of the first quarter, it feels like. Off the foot of Miles, out of bounds. And that is the first turnover of the game. 4.5 minutes in. Miles kept his team at a that deficit, got up to double figures.
No.
Looked like he was not going to be too tight at the end, but they made a huge run late. And TCA did not shoot it well from the free throw line. 56% on 36 tries. L.J. Smith cans a 3. It's only 3s going down right now for Oak Hill.
Sometimes that's the best thing to do, a drop coverage defense. Just come off that thing locked and loaded, ready to shoot off the pick and roll because the big is so far back.
Hardaway skips, catch and shoot for keeper Jackson. Again, Hardaway gets his hands on it, doesn't pick it up, but Williams does. Miles lets it fly and has the rebuttal.
Miles playing some of his best basketball as of late. His last 2 games averaging 20 points per game. Game yesterday, 23.
Baco taken to the floor by Miles. Picks him right back up. He picks up the personal. That's his first. Team's second. Yeah, Miles is a kid who's only gotten better as the season has gone on. He's a senior undeclared. He's got an offer from Alabama State. Came over to UCA over the summer. Spent last year at Lima Senior High School in Ohio. So he's back in his home state. Playing well.
He's just a gamer. He's not one of those guys where the athleticism or any of the skill sets jump off the page, but he's just a guy that can compete with anybody.
Baco had his foot on the line. That's the first turnover for Oak Hill. He's a guy who might see some more schools come calling.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when you can shoot the ball at 6'4" and have a quick release on that jump shot, that is something that is hard to find, especially recruiting out of high school, which a lot of colleges have to do if they don't have the NIL dollars. So I would imagine that he will definitely have some schools calling him in the near future.
5:45 gone by, 1 point lead for TCA. Miles turns the corner. They go up strong off 2 feet. It was walled off by 2 defenders, and it'll go the other way.
I say one critique is I think sometimes Miles gets himself into trouble by trying to do a little bit too much, especially off the bounce. I mean, he's got to do a better job, I think, understanding when he has the advantage and when to kick it out, and understand that he's probably going to get a low percentage field goal attempt or a turnover or block.
The defense here for the first 18 seconds. And Baco was highly contested. Good extra pass. Oh, the pocket pass. A beautiful box over to Vital for the dunk. A couple of possessions where they just haven't let the ball really hit the deck. No dribbles, just passes, and it's looked beautiful offensively. Vital hit the deck. That gives Smith a window, and he hits another. Second three from straight away.
And as a shooter and a scorer, you understand when that big is in a drop coverage, you get a deflection here from Oak Hill against Williams. But that is just elite skill level. Picking it up as we take another look at it. Get a dribble handoff. I think even if Vital doesn't fall, he still gets that shot up because of how far Vital is back.
Another moment that might not show up at the box score for the true freshman. Right, a little ankle breaker, nice screen.
Yep.
Gets the assist. Good find, wide open, and the three ball goes. Keeper Jackson with his second triple.
That's huge for TCA because he's been shooting well under 30% over his last 3 games. It's a great read from Williams off the trap on the pick and roll.
6 points, that's more than he had all game yesterday. Will Nelson with the rebound. Battling for it. Dangerous pass up ahead. Keeper Jackson is going to do it himself. Oh, he can't miss right now. A man possessed with 8 points in the opening quarter. Not sure that's the shot they were looking for early in the shot clock. Contested long 2. It's their biggest lead. Oak Hill has 5 made threes. They trail by 5. Accounted for all their points. LJ Smith, no. And the heave, just short. Both teams with 5 made threes in the first quarter. What a game we got going offensively.
Really, it's going to be about who is going to lock in on the defensive end. But see, Keeper Jackson here, that's a tough, contested 2 off the bobble, but great footwork and balance.
Not sure if he thought, hey, maybe we go 2 for 1 if we get a very quick shot. Either way, he got the bucket. Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. And delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle for real. TCA up by 5 after 1 here on a Sunday afternoon.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
If there's one thing I've learned in 23 seasons, don't be afraid of rejection. It's the greatest teacher of all time.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
What a fun one through the opening 8 minutes. 10 made threes already. This is coming on the backs of a game where we only saw 8 attempted threes total in the first half.
Right.
This has been a wild one, and TCA trying to end a long losing streak. The last time they won a game was January 2nd versus St. James. They're coming out looking like a different squad here so far.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they're playing with a lot of pride, doing a really good job, especially on the offensive end, moving the basketball. They already have 6 assists. It's a team that averages less than 10, so they're on pace for 24.
They are last in the league in assists per game. Only team at an under 10 clip per contest. Moving it well. Good distribution of the rock, and they're shooting the lights out so far. That could be said about both teams. Contested three.
Wow.
Nobody can miss in this one. 18 points on 6 made threes. Hopefully pretty incredible. That was McLeod from the corner. His first points of the day. The lob. Can't get the one-handed finish. L.J. Smith. Great find in Baco, and Oak Hill's got their first 2-point field goal of the game. It comes in the second quarter to tie us up.
Both teams are just doing such a good job with that advanced pass and transition, and it's a nice give and go. Ethan Mbako running the floor even after he passes it ahead.
Baco already with 11 points. Baseline drive and a blocking foul. Keeper Jackson will go to the free throw line for the first time. Only had 2 total free throw attempts in that opening quarter.
You look at the numbers for Williams, 0 points, hasn't shot a single shot this game. He has 2 assists, but he's doing a really good job of giving himself up because right now he's being double teamed even at half court. And then after he gives himself up and makes that advanced pass, then it's a 4-on-3 on the backside, and TCA is doing a really good job of taking advantage of those outnumbered situations.
How does he toe that line between being selfless and maybe too selfless? Because, you know, he started calling his own number and asserting himself more offensively in the second half yesterday when they needed him, all 20 points after the halftime break. But he knows that he's a weapon, and they don't have a ton of weapons.
Well, eventually I think Oak Hill is going to have to adjust strategically. And so then that's when you start being more aggressive. But if it's working, I mean, which TCA is scoring at a pretty good clip, I mean, you got to keep giving yourself up. And then maybe try to find something in transition.
Both teams are 7 of 17 from the field. Already 6 made threes for Oak Hill, but L.J. Smith.
Look, I mean, they're doubling him right after he gets the rebound.
McClone rips it away. A lot of traffic down low. They're swinging around. Extra pass. David Johnson for 3. Freshman on the board. That's great defense, turning into terrific offense. Still always making that extra pass.
Look, there's 2 on the ball right now. It's a good job of still giving himself up. Just fortunate there from Given stepping out of bounds. But look at this sequence right here. Nice little shovel pass, swing, swing, and then the freshman knocking down the 3 ball from the right wing.
I mean, that was a triple team against Mbako. And when you're triple team, there's a couple guys sitting wide open, and they found one of them. Hill went 10 of 24 from 3 yesterday, 42%. Already 7 of 14 today. An incredible pace. Baco calling for the screen, gives it right back to David Johnson, fumbles it, regathers. Couldn't hit his second straight triple.
If you fumble a pass, it's always best to just not shoot it and just try to get to the rim.
Baco with the reach in. It'll be his first foul. I was thinking about it yesterday, what you said. When I was watching some hoops at night. I do appreciate the suit as well.
Yeah, and he's got like the 2-piece too. It's not just like it's like a full-on suit. It's not just the coat.
Yeah, college basketball is a lot of quarter zips going around between the entire staff, right? You got to wear the same color pants, the same color quarter zip on. Mason Williams' first shot attempt. He's a 3-pointer, and he's fouled.
But technically doesn't get the shot attempt.
Yeah, it will not count as one officially in the box score. But that was his first look. And he is deadly from the free throw line. Entered well over 90% on the season. Did miss one yesterday. He was 5 of 6 after entering 32 of 33. The quintessential point guard. Rasheed Wallace, by the way, going to work again with Keeper Jackson in the background there. Certainly seems like he's got an incredible mindset, and it's got to be just so incredibly invaluable to this team. And
100%.
seems like he's always taking individuals under his shoulder during the game. You'd love to know what he was saying.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge, and it just shows that he has a passion for giving back to the next generation and really cares for this program and this team. It's awesome to see.
How fortunate for all these young kids to have a chance to learn, no matter what position you play, no matter how tall or big you are or aren't. Definitely learn something from Rasheed Wallace. All Quallen was an errant pass because Will Nelson Jr. was holding on to the man he was defending, so he'll pick up the personal. Right now, Mbako's got 11. Only half of his team's 23. Other points after he was just 2 of 11 yesterday. Corbett hasn't scored yet. And for a team high with 16 a day ago. What a great bounce pass. L.J. Smith slicing and dicing. Corner jump shot off the heel. Even got a miss, though. That's well executed offense.
Yeah, very much so. Did have 3 guys on one side of the floor.
Right lob over the top, ripped away by Mbako. Corbett comes away with it the other way, just takes it himself. Can't scoop it home, but chance for Corbett to get his first points from the line.
And I thought L.J. Smith probably should have cut to the basket and would have got an easy layup. He elected to kind of stop at the 3-point line, hoping that Corbett would hit him. But I think once Corbett saw that Smith didn't cut, he was like, look, I got to go get this layup myself.
This is the first free throw attempt, 72% free throw shooter on the year. 5 of 6 from the floor yesterday after he was just 1 for 2 the game prior against Spire. We got a 1-point game. 4:40 left to go in this first half. 1 point from the free throw line, 1 made 2, and 7 made 3s for Oak Hill. In a strange first half. Miles has a 3 today. High archer doesn't go. It's another putback dunk that's missed. Vital with this one. Hardaway had the other. Somehow that stayed in bounds. Corbett just chucks it forward. That was ill-advised. It falls for a teammate, and Qual will go to the free throw line. That was helter-skelter that possession.
It was a good job of Gibbons, though, not allowing the easy finish from Qual. He kind of broke off the chase as he was trailing in transition, realized the ball handler got in front of him, and then just got a piece of the ball and the arm. And now you're making Qual earn it, who's a 62% free throw shooter.
Got the great suit, wide shoulders too. That looks like a
he does.
Former football player. Down Zito, so 1 free throw good, 1 missed. And we're right back where we started, all square. Pressure extending all the way out to half court. Miles stepping through, all rejected, but fouled. I think Qual might have been able to block that with his shoulder.
See it again. See a skip pass, splitting the defense there, and yeah, that's a good call. I think he would have probably, if he would have just leaned his shoulder in, the ball would have just hit it. I mean,
so Miles to the free throw line, his first free throw attempts of the day. Hit at 11 yesterday, 8 for 11. This is his first in this one. An area where they could certainly use some improvement towards the end of the season. Jackson Hardaway back in. Only 2 teams in the league that shoot it worse from the charity stripe than Tennessee Collegiate. They did not help that number yesterday, 20 for 36. But we're talking about the fine line between winning and losing. Lose a game by 2. Yeah, missed 16 free throws. Probably not time to practice that between games here, but I'm sure when they get back home to the Memphis area, that'll be a point of emphasis over the next few days. Always is at any point of the season, really. Not no good for Corbett. That's slashed off of Mason Williams.
Another thing about the CCA team is they give a ton of threes. You look at the numbers, they give up almost 9 per game. Teams shoot about 38%. So it's like, to your point, they don't make free throws and you give up a ton of threes. You're leaving a lot of points on the board.
Only 2 teams give up a worse 3-point percentage against them.
Ball movement here.
Great passing again. Hardaway to Nelson. Nelson, no. Hardaway again, though. Only his 4th rebound. And he is scoreless so far. But you just got to find him and box him out.
That's really what kept them in it against Lou Hives. Those second chance opportunities, 13 offensive rebounds. And then it's just Hardaway just doing the dirty work and understands that he's not going to get any plays called for him. He's not going to get any isolation post-ups. And so the way that he's going to eat is hitting that glass as hard as possible. And that's what he's done this weekend.
Julius Kalani in for the first time for Oak Hill. Yeah, Jackson Hardaway's only seeing his starts increase and his minutes skyrocket. And he averages less than 3 points a game coming into this weekend. And only about 2.5 rebounds a game. 8 and 9 yesterday. 2 points and 4 rebounds in this first half. Baco. It's the pass down low, and Corbett gets his first bucket of the game. You hear the communication comes from the bench yelling at every screen that was coming. Miles puts it on the deck. Off the window, no. Baco weaving through the defense. The step back jumper rattles out. Miles all alone. He's strong on the 3. Jose Smith rips it away. We head the other way. Oh, nasty crossover into the lane. The leader, no. And able to create the foul.
He's just so shifty side to side. Smith is. It's almost impossible to keep him in front. He almost has to guess which direction he's going to go. You see it in transition. A little hezzy between attack downhill and seeking out that contact to get to the foul line.
7 points on the day now. It's 2 of 7 from the field. That's his first free throw attempt. LJ Smith, who's bound for Columbus, Ohio, and Ohio State. For Jackson back in. Smith, the 5-star, a top 10 junior in the country, and the #1 ranked shooting guard.
It's a great place to go for guards. I mean, look at the guards they have now. Bruce Thornton, John Mobley Jr. He returns there next season. That's be a deadly backcourt.
Look, now it could be a great week for the Buckeyes, too. Beat a ranked Wisconsin team at home. Keeper Jackson in transition. Sticks the 3. We were at halftime here. They were in halftime in East Lansing at Ohio State at a 2-point lead against the Spartans. It's been a triple fest. 13 made threes in this first half between these two teams combined. Orbit back out. LJ Smith looking for the answer. The team shooting 40%. UCA's got a 2-point lead. Mason Williams just gonna let it fly. That's the shot he can get any time.
Great defense from Baco. Keeping that ball in front and forcing a tough pull-up 3.
Baco had the scorching start. Sifting his way through the defense and then turns it over. That's only their second turnover. We've only had 5 in the game.
thought Ethan Mbako could have went up for that layup after that low pickup. That AJ DeBonsa pickup. But elected to pass it into traffic and turned it over. But then TCA turning it right back over.
Haven't been many. That was back-to-back. 60 seconds to go in half number one. LJ Smith into the paint, no good. Jackson's got it. They can go 2 for 1 if they hurry. Well, Nelson's got that idea, but had it smothered. LJ Smith with the hesitation, now attacking. Knocked it off for Kamani. Back out it goes. Great ball fake. Corbett had it rejected on the shot, though, but there to clean it all up is Zion McGlone. 31-31.
Look at this full court pressure here from McGlone. That's making Mason Williams work. That takes extra energy out of your body having to go up against that pressure.
Corbett with the rejection. That's how we go to halftime. No jump shot coming easy at the moment. We're getting great contests. 31-31. TCA didn't score over the last 121 seconds. They got a tip on that shot. Miles couldn't corral it. And there's McGlone, one of the smaller guys on the court, on mop-up duty, and we're all tied. 31-31. Who's going to get the win to end this Sunday afternoon and a weekend here at Geneva, Ohio? Stay tuned for the second half. Coming your way shortly.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
If there's one thing I've learned in 23 seasons, don't be afraid of rejection. It's the greatest teacher of all time.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
Oh, no.
Granted, I probably got them.
You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic at Spire Academy on League Ready. Take a peek behind the scenes inside this venue and all the courts and options they have. That's why we were only able to have a delay yesterday that didn't exist because of 8.5-minute warm-ups, because you got all these fields and courts to choose from. Well, we had a game go long early on. The beautiful setting here in Geneva, Ohio. Game 5 of the weekend. It's the finale. Game 2 of the day, and maybe shaping up to be the best finish we've had so far. So we're all square at halftime, 31 apiece. Very clean game, only 6 total turnovers, and how about 13 made threes so far?
Yeah, both offenses have been really clicking, and look at TCA. I thought they've done a really good job thus far moving the basketball. Mason Williams has given himself up a ton, and other guys have been beneficiaries, and Oak Hill doing a good job as always, led by Ethan Mbako, 11 points, 4 of 9 from the field, bouncing back after a tough game yesterday.
He got off to a blistering start. Mbako with 11 points. He's the lone man in double figures for Oak Hill. The lone man with 10 plus for TCA is keeper Jackson, who's got 13. Miles with 7 points. Mason Williams with just 3 in the lone field goal attempt. We'll see if he can have a second half like he was able to conjure up a day ago. Oak Hill looking to go 2-0 over the weekend. TCA trying to split in their game today in their 2-point loss a day ago versus Lehigh. A lot on the line, though, for two teams coming in tied in the standings of the division. And we sent from the jump. This was a tight one on paper. That's been the case so far. Action Hardaway down low, no good. Second effort, no. Mason Williams takes it away. It's doubled in the corner. Keeper Jackson. That's off the mark. Will Nelson, yes. Oh, what an opening statement to the second half.
One of the things, when you double so much, it kind of puts you in a vulnerable position for rebounding purposes on the defensive end, and TCA on that position did a good job crashing the glass.
Step back 3, L.J. Smith, money.
That was right in rhythm. He came off that flare screen. The defender tried to beat him to the spot, and there's a beautiful step back from Smith to create space.
How about that? You get TCA with a few offensive rebounds and 4 looks. They finally get one to go, and then 1 step back, fade away 3 on the other end. Shot clock at 8. Mason Williams. It's cut off at the free throw line. Keeper Jackson, they got to get it up. Miles denied. David Johnson holding strong.
Really good defensive possession from Oak Hill. Even after Williams got into the middle of the floor, providing that help side, but then being able to close out and not allow any advantages after the ball got into the paint.
Oak Hill is right at their season average in made threes per game. They've got 8. Just about a whole half left. Oh, somehow Corbett got all the way through, just squeezing through black jerseys. That was impressive. He'll go to the line.
Corbett was quiet in that first half. Only 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field, coming off a game where he had 16 against Cats, 5 of 6, 2 of 3 from 3. Beautiful job there, kind of splitting that pick and roll and then utilizing the Euro step and change directions to get downhill.
Corbett just 1 of 4 from the floor. 4-star senior. It was 1 of 2. And a throwaway. Two guys begging for an explanation from each other.
And that's where a point guard has to go get the ball in that situation. If you see your big fellas in trouble, as Hardaway was, you got to go get to an open area and make sure you help them out.
And Baco gets doubled, flips it up, no good. Ball tips it over to Miles. Miles fakes left, goes right, all the way in for the scoop and score.
The change of speeds that I've seen in this tournament has been so impressive. And Miles on that one in the secondary transition situation, being able to go from slow and then explode. Miles is not fast, but he's quick with that first step.
Jackson Hardaway taking a shot to the left eye. And there's just something fluid about Nate Miles' movement.
Yeah.
Just kind of glides past you. Deceptive quickness.
And once he gets an angle on you, he's so strong that he's going to win the contact battle 9 out of 10 times. It's just when he doesn't have the angle or when a help side big comes over is where he gets himself in trouble sometimes.
And he's listed at 6'8", 260. The high school senior. Built like a left tackle.
Yeah.
Come on, ref. Jesus. You don't need explanation. It's a foul.
Miles again attacking. He is fearless off the bounce. He just gets it and goes.
Yeah, if he gets that angle, I mean, on that one it was a zone, so he saw a little bit of a sliver of space there and just was able to attack it downhill. Surprised it wasn't a shooting foul.
Surprises me as well. Miles with position down low, and Baco came over to help. Talked about Baco being a guy who just does everything so well. Rebounding, facilitating, scoring. Yesterday the shot was a little off, but play sound defense.
Even though he struggled yesterday from the field, had 9 rebounds and 5 assists.
Smith whips it over the top. And Baco back across. David Johnson. Mason Williams comes away with it. That's his 6th rebound. And Miles fouled on the reach in. Look at Corey Corbett. Really Corbett's first foul. Nelson down the baseline, walled off, tried to call timeout when he was off balance and going out of bounds. I think he tried to call timeout, but it's a turnover either way.
Both of these teams are shooting well under 40% from 2 right now. Look at the numbers, only 3 two-point field goals for Oak Hill, 4 for TCA. But give credit to the defense. They're doing a really good job of protecting the paint.
Baco off the mark. It's alive for Corbett. It's the 5th offensive rebound for Oak Hill. They've given up 10 on the other end, but it leads to second chance points. And Oak Hill's got the lead as Corey Corbett starting to get it going.
Got Corbett putting his man in jail in that situation to get the space for the floater. Williams
with the side step. Able to get beyond and Baco, who reached in and hacked him on the way up. This is when Mason Williams started to crank up his offensive effort a day ago. Well, he decided to go to college. Committed to Jackson State, decommitted. Right after that happened, Texas Tech offered him up. The Texas Tech team has got some loaded freshmen on it right now.
Yeah.
Senior from Madison, Mississippi.
The offers from Ole Miss, Washington as well. Memphis.
As dad, the head coach at Jackson State, longtime NBA vet and NBA champ. brother Mike also goes there and is on the team. He's been so solid this year. More offers to come in. He decided to open the recruitment. And we're getting down towards the nitty-gritty in terms of making your decision if you're a senior right now. Here's a rare bucket for Julius Kamani. Just 1 point a game. One made field goal entering this weekend. Miles calling for the screen. Two-man game with Vital. Trying to work it outside for Givens. Good defense from David Johnson. LJ Smith stops, goes, blocked away, but a goaltend.
It's that same hand, same foot finish that always throws the timing of the shot blocker off. Vital, second best shot blocker in the Scholastic League. And I think Smith was very aware of that and utilized that creative finish to get the goaltend.
Oh, smooth. 3-on-2. Cooper Jackson pulls up. Miles there to collect it back.
Not there, boy.
5-point deficit. This is the biggest lead Oak Hill's had all afternoon long. Mason Williams from way downtown. Still got about a quarter and a half left, but he does not have a made shot yet.
Yeah. Only 2 field goal attempts.
So often is the creator, but also such a clutch shot maker. I mean, between Williams only having 4 points on 0-2 from the floor and Miles being held in single digits to this point, they're only down by 5 if you want to look at it that way.
The second half, Corbett has really been aggressive, not only looking for his own shot, but making some really good passes and be able to get into the paint and attack the pressure of TCA.
Monty lost control. There's the strength on display again from Hardaway. Field goals in the last 3 minutes in 45 seconds. Miles creating space after the crossover dribble. And we'll stay right here. Yeah, Miles loves to just get downhill.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter driving right or left, even though he didn't make the layup.
It's hard to finish. I mean, you look at both bigs, Qual and Vital respectively. I mean, those guys are long, athletic, and so even if you get past your initial defender, you still got to go up against the trees.
Givens bounces it inside. Hardaway had his man sealed. We'll say foul on the floor. Got LJ Smith. That is the 5th foul, though. Either way, it is free throws for TCA. That's the end of the scoring drought of north of 2 minutes. Hardaway's got both of his points coming from the line today. 7 rebounds. What a strong effort from their big man.
He's got a pretty shot, too. I mean, look at his form from the free throw line. I don't know what his mid-range or 3-ball looks like, but I don't know. If I were him, I would consider popping on some of those screens and trying my luck from the perimeter.
He's also got an offer from Jackson State, the senior from where TCA is located in Memphis. Also had interest from Mississippi State and Cincinnati on the gridiron. Big-time football player. And Botko still sitting on 11 points. He had that incredible stretch in the first quarter. Been a lot of LJ Smith since. Floater wide of the mark. Huge screen. And it's going to be a foul against Jackson Hardaway.
I don't agree with that call. I think that's poor communication from Oak Hill. Yeah, I mean, he's set. Hardaway is definitely set on that. That's just bad communication there from, I believe, Qual, who was guarding Hardaway. You got to call that screen out so the guard can get around. Even if there's heavy contact and it looks kind of aggressive, it's a clean play.
I agree. Hard screen, but not an illegal screen. Just got to communicate that much better defensively. L.J. Smith, great bounce pass, down low, and Qual hits the bucket.
Speaking of which, I actually tore my labrum on a Thomas Bryant screen back in my college days.
That's a big screen. I would imagine so, at least. That's tough.
Oh, yeah, it hurt.
Six-point lead and the basketball for Oak Hill. They have only allowed 6 points in this third quarter. CCA put up 20 in the first, only 11 in the second, and just 6 in the third. As Oak Hill's defense has grown into this contest. Mbako, extra pass, L.J. Smith. Cooper Jackson, that's a dangerous pass in the backcourt. They can hold for one if they want, but Mason Williams is going to force the issue. Lefty layup goes and the foul. Mason Williams finally gets his first field goal right when they needed it.
99 out of 100 times in that situation, I'm saying bring the ball out, get the last shot. But that's probably the one where you need your best player to have some type of rhythm offensively. And I just love this attack, utilizing those 2 steps, extending it out, and finishing through contact.
That last stride was so long to keep his man on his left side hip pocket. Back to a one-possession game. We're tied at 31 at halftime. Mbako winding and weaving, contested 2 and a foul. And down on the arms to Jackson Hardaway.
Good crab triple there from Mbako to keep the defender on his back and see and wait what the big fella in Hardaway was going to do, and then just went straight into the body after he realized Hardaway was out of position.
Mbako finally on the board in the second half. His first free throw attempt of the day. And the advantage back up to 5. And a turnover and a layup. Ethan Mbako, an emphatic finish to end the third quarter. It's careless from Tennessee Collegiate. And a flurry from Ethan Mbako. Brilliantly done. Talk about the energy he provides. Flexing on him. This Oak Hill's got all the momentum now to end the quarter. Ethan Mbako. Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike. Just do it. And delivered by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavor. Chipotle for real. Oak Hill outscores Tennessee Collegiate 16-9 in the third, and they've got a 7-point lead.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
If there's one thing I've learned in 23 seasons, don't be afraid of rejection. It's the greatest teacher of all time.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
47-40, Oak Hill leads Tennessee Collegiate. 8 minutes to go in this game. 8 minutes to go on this 5-game slate of a weekend in Northeast Ohio. Oak Hill shooting at 40% so far from the field. 8 made threes. TCA just 31% from the floor, only 36% a day ago. Team shoots at 42% on the year. Chase Gibbons, good defense. Didn't force the turnover, though. LJ Smith. Good box out from Miles. A much bigger Qual. Williams, nasty crossover. Gets a paint touch. Kicks it out. Nelson short on the three. Keeps it in, though. Almost stepped on the baseline. Takes left, goes right. And well short. And a foul.
That last possession, defensively, TCA went to a zone. You got to be careful, though. You got some snipers between Smith and Mbako that can, they see any daylight, they can really get hot from the perimeter.
And Mbako, his team's last 4 points coming in the final seconds of that third quarter. Now he gets his hands in there and causes the tie-up.
Still seems he's trying to find his rhythm. He doesn't quite have it yet. Now 5 of 13 from the field. 2 of 6 from inside the arc. He's in the middle of that zone where a lot of times you want to put your best finisher in that area, and he had a wide open shot from free throw line, just left it short.
He came out looking like he was going to put up maybe 30 points
yeah,
today.
I know.
Picked up where he left off with his last shot yesterday. Foul in the backcourt. You noted the Malone's pressure he provides earlier. Too aggressive in this moment. First foul of the quarter against Oak Hill. McGlone's third. Qual also has 3. Jackson Hardaway is the lone man in the game with 4. He's on the bench right now. Corner 3 ball goes. Money for keeper Jackson. He's got a few of those. That's his 4th 3, 16 points. That's a game high. That was it down to 4. LJ Smith, that's just too easy.
Now when they were trying to keep that ball on the side of the floor, it was a great read from LJ Smith to just backdoor as he was being denied from coming off the rescreen handoff.
Jackson this time driving it in. Back clock at 15, it remains with the Spartans. Keeper Jackson is a gifted kid. 4-star with offers from Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Florida Gulf Coast, and more. At Columbus High School in Miami last year. Miles going right at Qual. My goodness, that's 6'4", going at 6'11" and getting it done down low.
Just using that upper body strength. If he lacks in height, he does not lack an upper body strength, and just going right into the chest of Qual.
Oh, great spin. Greater defensive move from Vital. Close and ground in a hurry at the end, but a turnover. You can see the frustration on the bench there from Michael Wright, who really wanted to spike that basketball, but thought better of it.
That last one, Corbett, if he would have went up with the left hand, would have got an easy layup, put it back in his right, and Vital was able to beat it off the glass.
Oh, but so quick with that spin. LJ Smith back out. Ethan Mbako lines it up. There's Corbett again. Quality contest. But back-to-back stops for TCA. And a timeout comes from Michael Wright. And got this down to a 4-point deficit, 5.5 minutes left. It's been pretty close the entire way. Two teams very evenly matched on paper and in reality.
49-45, 4-point lead in favor of Oak Hill.
Second to last weekend of the regular season. We got one final day next week. And you talk about the Nike EYBL Scholastic Conference Tournament. And then Chipotle Nationals down in Indiana, April 1st through the 4th. Final 3 days all broadcast on ESPN platforms. As you can see, a ton of the best high school basketball players in the country, all in one gymnasium, competing for a national title.
And I love that. I mean, having more teams in this league this year and expanding it. I mean, you got 20 now. I mean, imagine seeing this thing at 30. I mean, that's like an NBA league. I mean, that's just a lot of high-quality basketball. And what I love about it is that these kids get an opportunity to be coached and play in something that simulates the collegiate game. Obviously, at the collegiate level, you're playing against grown men, and you know you're coming in as a freshman. But in terms of the structure that you're playing with at this level, and the coaching and the accountability and learning how to play a role, it's very similar to the collegiate game.
So much growth you see over the course of a high school career, over the course of just one season. And it's moments like this teach you a lot about these young kids, what they could potentially be as collegiate athletes. Crunch time of a tight game. Mason Williams surveying. Miles into the corner for Keeper Jackson. Have another and have a day. Keeper Jackson, 19 points, his 5th three.
We had mentioned had really struggled his previous 3 games. Wasn't shooting the ball well, and get a backdoor cut from the freshman. Right back at you, both ends of the floor.
Freshman in high school. They don't do this.
Beautiful bounce pass, and Keeper Jackson that got caught ball watching, guarding Johnson in the corner. And great read from Johnson, just cutting right behind as the ball was being dribbled his direction.
Miles, I think, almost more so trying to get out of the way and stay and maintain his ground. Keeper Jackson did pick up that foul. Good look on the other end, and the offense starting to pick it up. A couple of backdoor cuts down baselines. 2-point game with 4.5 to go. Shuffle down low. That's a really low pass for Qual, and a wise timeout coming from the sideline. John Zito. Oak Hill had 4 timeouts left. TCA still got 3. There's plenty of time if you're caught in trouble. Call time and draw things up. See the frustration there between LJ Smith and Qual.
Yeah.
What do you go to right now down the stretch? You've got plenty of options.
Yeah, I think LJ Smith is the guy that probably has the best rhythm offensively, is making the best decisions off the bounce. Only 5 of 16 from the field, but has 5 assists. So even if he's not the one that's scoring, he can be a playmaker off of a high ball screen. I think that's probably your best option down the stretch here if you're Oak Hill.
And Bonko and Smith tied the team lead with 15 points apiece. Keeper Jackson leading all scorers with 21. Seven-point lead was the biggest cushion that Oak Hill's had. That's when it was 47-40. Clock under 10 for LJ Smith. 8 miles on him. Smith driving left, stepping back, crosses over into the lane, floats it up.
Yeah, that's the right call. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
Smith did not do a good job on that possession, waiting for the screen. Kind of went too early and put Qual in a tough position. And then even on the re-attack, you know, Qual was trying to get set again to set another screen, but Smith was already going.
A moving screen against Qual. That's his 4th personal. The 2 big men on either team. Qual with 4, Hardaway with 4. Hardaway's been on the bench for a bit. Tennessee Collegiates hit their last 3 shots, and now they'll have a chance to tie or take the lead.
Yeah. Take a look again right here. See, he goes too early. You know, Qual's not even up there to set the screen, and now he's in another position where he's trying to re-screen, and then he's moving as he makes contact with Smith's man. It's a great call from the official.
Nate Miles making life hard on the screener. Qual too.
Yeah.
Try to power through that first one. This is pretty much the exact situation that Tennessee Collegiate Academy found themselves in yesterday. Razor thin margin towards the end of the game. Lost 67-65 versus Lehigh. They shot 36% in that game, shooting 35% in this game. Once again, it's the offensive rebounds that have kept them alive. 20 a day ago, and they were plus 16. 14 in this game. They're plus 8. That's made up for the fact that they have 13 turnovers, and Oak Hill only has 4. 2-point game with under 4 to go. Where do they look for offense? Mason Williams, been quiet, only 1 made field goal. Miles down low, the reverse. Left it short, got fouled on the follow-up.
Seems like he will not be denied down there unless he's going up against a really good shot blocker or you completely cut him off of his path. He's going to find a way to get a quality shot up, and if he misses it, he's going to get the offensive rebound more times than not. And it's just a great job of sticking with it and making that extra effort play.
23 points yesterday. He's got 13 here today to go with 8 rebounds.
And how about the rebounds? 40-22 in favor of TCA.
That's what they do. That's why they were in it yesterday. Dominating the glass. It's not like they're a huge team either. It's tremendous effort and fundamentals. Sabako got hit. Mason Williams with the foul. Now the jump shooter, who was only 5 of 14 on the night.
It's a great job of fighting through the screen and being there on the catch, but you got to give a little bit of airspace. And Mbako doing a good job of reading as he misses the first, of going into the body and understanding that he's probably going to draw the foul if he goes up in his natural shooting motion.
Entered the weekend shooting 91% from the line. That's the second. Got 17 points now, 1 below his season average. Low scoring game. Oak Hill averages about 65 a game. Tennessee Collegiate about 61. Good find there. How about the passing from the big man Hardaway? They're just looking to get Miles down low.
And Miles is cutting with a purpose too. I mean, a lot of times you see in those situations where you're not really the main option in the play. I believe they were trying to get a dribble handoff in the right corner for Mason Williams, and just cutting with a purpose, and good job of Hardaway making that read and seeing that he was open for Miles to draw the foul.
4 of 5 from the line so far today. Make it 5 of 6. Right back all level. Baco with the team high 17. His way to Smith, who's got 15. Those are the two guys you would expect to be getting the looks at this juncture. Smith on the blow-by, misses the layup, but another foul.
Just that little hezzy dribble as he's attacking already to freeze the defender. We've seen Oak Hill kind of run that flare screen for him to either come off and shoot it if his man goes underneath, or if he goes over the top for him to attack downhill. It almost serves as like a ball screen, but just off the ball, and Smith just making the right read.
Another missed free throw. A great free throw shooter. He's just a tick under 80%. Gino averaged 33 points a game last year. As Oak Hill back in front. But any kind of bucket at TCA would get their first lead of the fourth quarter. Trail by as many as 7. They cut it all the way down to 1. Mason Williams. Oh, how about the minutes for Julius Kamani off the bench? That's his biggest, most impactful moment of the weekend. Foot out of bounds. Only the 5th turnover for Oak Hill.
One of the things, these guys aren't used to playing with that NBA line, which really hovers against that sideline. So you're spotting up in the corner. It's almost better for you to spot up by that yellow line, which is the high school 3.
Sometimes you lose track of the spacing. Jackson power dribble, lost it. Hits the deck. They're going to say jump ball. I don't think Kamani had his hands on that for too long. It is Oak Hill basketball.
It's always tough as a coach when your top guy doesn't really have it going offensively, because it's like, who do I run my action for? You know, the hottest player for TCA has been Keeper Jackson. But Keeper Jackson is not necessarily a playmaker. He's more of a finisher at the basket or catch and shoot threes. So it kind of puts you in a tough bind to know what kind of set to run to feel confident that you're going to get a good look on the offensive end.
And you could sense and hear the frustration from Zito, who's right in the officials' ear, and eventually just calls a timeout. Did not like what he was seeing from that offensive set.
Looks like he's getting on his freshman, David Johnson, who, I mean, you should probably expect that for him to not always understand where he needs to be on the floor for execution purposes.
He had the big moment earlier to David Johnson, that huge dunk from a 6'9" kid who's barely been around the high school ranks. Obviously his first year here at Oak Hill, but 1-point game, $156 left. What's going to be the difference, partner?
Well, I think, again, it's who you're going to go to, who can you count on in the half court, because this game's going to really slow down. You're not going to see a lot of full court possessions, and it's going to be a lot of two-man actions, whether it's for Smith, whether it's for Williams. And I think between those two, who makes the better plays and executes down the stretch is going to win this game.
We knew on paper, we said it before this game even ever tipped off. This is a matchup between two very evenly matched teams. That's been the case all along. Neither team's been able to extend any kind of a lead. Could come down to the free throw line. We saw TCA really struggle from the line yesterday, and Oak Hill wasn't too great either. Trying to 68%, and they've missed some down the stretch here, but they've got a chance to add to a very slim lead. And this is where you need to search and look for the best shot you could find. Shot clock at 13. Oak Hill's got 2 timeouts. TCA also has 2. Corbett, shot clock down to 2. LJ Smith not going to get it off in time. shot clock violation after a timeout.
It didn't seem like Smith came off that wide pin down with any sense of urgency. I think he probably thought he had more time than he really had.
Eight Miles, 90 seconds to go. Easton Williams probing, crossing, spinning, lost it, but a foul. Ethan Mbako with the personal, and this will send maybe the best free throw shooter in the Nike EYBL Scholastic to the line.
I don't think Ethan Mbako needed the help there. I thought LJ Smith had the ball completely under control. And he could have easily just stayed home, just got in there, got his hands in the cookie jar, and bailed out TCA.
Mbako picks up his 4th foul. Make it 17 of 21 from the free throw line. North of 80% after they struggled there a day ago. Mason Williams now 7 for 8. First lead of the 4th quarter for Tennessee Collegiate. This is why you play in a league like this, to learn what you're made of.
Yes.
Taking on some of the best players in the country. LJ Smith, that's
Beautiful
a great
pass.
find from the big man, Qual. Oak Hill back in front.
You're going to have to go over the top on Smith because you can't go underneath. Otherwise, he's going to make you pay by making three-point shots. But they went under the top, over the top, and he was able to cut back door.
Miles all the way in with the right hand on the left side. A deft finish. 40 seconds to go in a 1-point game. Back and forth we go. LJ Smith. And a timeout comes from the sideline. Just one left now for Oak Hill.
Full timeout here.
Back to the drawing board they will go. But Nate Miles, you said it earlier, he's not the fastest, not the quickest, but somehow he gets to the cup as well as anybody we've seen this weekend.
This is a beautiful take here. He gets the ball, understands Oak Hill sending him to the sideline, and I mean that finish is a high degree of difficulty over the outstretched arms of Qual.
"32 seconds left. Chance to draw something up. Gotta imagine it's going to Smith or Mbako. Combined, they have 35 of the team's 57 points. Both those players average over 16 a game, too. A couple of the better scorers and one of the better scoring combos in the Nike EYBL Scholastic. Oak Hill coming off a 9-point win versus Cats a day ago. Tennessee Collegiate, they dropped 7 straight. Lost by just 2 points versus Lehigh yesterday. This could be a big moment, too, for the Spartans trying to learn from those tight losses. They've had a handful lately in overtime versus La Lumiere. 2-point loss versus Cats Academy a week ago today. Sometimes you got to learn to win in tight games late. LJ Smith attacking off the window, too strong, with more free throws. We're getting free throws just about every trip down the floor.
Yeah. And on that one, they cleared the whole right side of the court out and kind of had some window dressing going on the left side and allowed Smith to attack downhill. And he was able to get by his initial defender and kind of jump into the defense to draw the foul.
You could hear the Oak Hill bench saying, hey, when that shot was up, Vital made contact with the rim, and that was pretty close on the replay. Huge free throw coming. As a team, they're 12 of 17, 71%. Smith 4 of 5. Oak Hill's in front.
Don't need a three here.
1-point game, 20 to go. They have 2 timeouts, so they'll use one here. We saw what Oak Hill drew up. Wanted to get L.J. Smith the basketball, isolate him on his strong side, and have him driving to the cup. I assume on this side you want the ball with Mason Williams or Jackson Hardaway, but probably don't want to help too far off of keeper Jackson because he's had the red-hot hand today.
Yeah, you definitely want to put the ball in Williams' hands in this situation and see if he can draw a foul. I mean, he's been able to get to the line at a great rate, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. But to your point, Max, you got to be aware on the weak side, and especially if the shot goes up, you got to find a body. Understand that TCA is probably going to send all 4 or 5 guys to the glass for offensive rebounding purposes.
They've got 15 offensive rebounds today. They had 20 yesterday. 35 offensive rebounds in 2 games. And over that time, it's 35 to 10. They've only given up 10.
Wow.
Offensive rebounds against them. And absolutely incredible. They're down by 1, 20 seconds to go. Looking for a last-second winner. You know they'll have plenty of black jerseys down under the bucket like you noted. Try to pick up a potential miss. Keeper Jackson with 21. Nate Miles has 17. Only 9 today for Mason Williams. Where do they go here? Miles with the basketball. Trying to get downhill. Lost it on the way up. Got it back. Gibbons has it. Right back. Nate Miles in the corner for the win. No good.
Wow.
They foul before the buzzer. Oh, an incredible look for Nate Miles, who's had a terrific weekend. 40 points between his 2 games. Chase Gibbons picked out the open man. They had a chance.
Yeah, they did. They put the ball in Miles' hands on that possession and wasn't able to get anything. But, again, it's the offensive rebounding, and Miles had open opportunities. We take a look. It's a nice drive here. And then Miles gets his own rebounds, and then this is a really good pass from Gibbons. And that's as good of a look as you can ask for.
A strong defensive rebound when they really needed one, too. So Corbett, miss here, and you'd have to heave it the length of the floor, and he does go for the intentional miss. Is this a lane violation, though? In fact, it was.
Wow.
Well, that's incredible because that was the perfect miss.
It was.
Got some rim. It was going to need to be chucked up immediately from beyond three-quarter court. But unless they said either a lane violation or Corbett had a foot on the line, we'll go into what looks like an official's timeout. 2-point game. There's 0.4 seconds left. I mean, crazier things have happened. Well, you like the intent there and the execution. Just somebody stepped in, and now TCA's got a chance. 0.4.
Which you don't quite understand because, I mean, at that point, you're not.
No reason to be in the lane at all.
Yeah, try to get a rebound. You just want that, let that ball bounce and let somebody tip it, and game's over.
We'll see what Michael Wright could draw up. See if TCA can muster up a shot.
Coming out of the huddle. Come on.
0.4 seconds left. Certainly no time for a dribble. It's going to be a catch and shoot. A 3 wins it.
If you're Oak Hill, you don't want a clean catch.
Miles chucks it in. It's Hardaway for the win, but it's off the mark. Oak Hill escapes with the victory and go 2-0 this weekend. here in Ohio. And once again, Tennessee Collegiate comes up 2 points shy. Back-to-back nail-biting defeats. And Oak Hill did just enough. The Nike player of the game this afternoon, L.J. Smith. 20 points, 5 assists, a couple of steals in there too, hit 3 triples, and hit the big-time free throws and got them the victory.
It's a big-time performance and big-time weekend for L.J. Smith. Just making all the timely plays. Saw a couple in the first half where they were in that drop coverage and he knocked down 2 threes, and being a distributor, and overall just his presence gives you a calming feel if you're his teammate or coach, because you know he's going to make the right play on the floor. 20 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, a terrific performance this afternoon.
Did just enough. They only put up 13 points in the fourth quarter. Saw their 7-point lead cut all the way down. TCA tied it a couple of times. They had a slim lead, but Oak Hill gets the victory, and they move to 6-7 in league play so far this year. They were just 1-6 in their last 7, but now they've won back-to-back. 60-58 the final as Oak Hill takes down Tennessee Collegiate. So for my partner, Trey Epps, and our entire crew, I'm Max Thomas saying thanks for tuning in today and this entire weekend as we wrap things up from Geneva, Ohio. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.